So at any rate, there's the three clowns again, Graham, Leach, and Biley, who pushed this nonsense on America. Now, I got to thank Occupy Wall Street and Wikipedia for this little bitty of information. Now, the bailout, Bush was still in office, and he signed it. It became public law October 3rd, 2008. So that's where we Americans, I remember plenty of people, thought they had a nice nest egg when they were retiring, and they found their 401ks evaporate. Those people were stolen from, and the private sector effectively pushed their well-being onto the public sector. So if you're worried about getting ripped off, well, right there, and I'll tell you what, it came out of Graham Leach Biley when these poor bozos, oh my God, they just made a mistake, but they were so big, too big to fail. So we get our Troubled Asset Relief Program, alias the bailout, and bank bailout 2008, Wall Street bailout. And of course, Bush was still in office. Obama didn't pass that. Now, how does this relate to universal health insurance for all Americans? Well, Max Baucus, just about a month after they bailed out Wall Street, he comes out and he says, we're going to overhaul health care. And I'll tell you what, if you ain't got medical insurance, whoa. So that really means the medical insurance industry is going to get some kind of an overhaul. And it's November 12, 2008. Obama's not even in office. See, but what Max is saying, he says, I'll tell you right now, there ain't going to be any public option, and we are going to mandate that individuals must buy coverage. So that really came from Max Baucus of the Senate Finance Committee, and yes, he was a Democrat. And what I am trying to point out, now, by the way, Max Baucus, he's now out, and I'm going to thank Slate for this little bit of information. He's now in favor of a single-payer medical insurance for all Americans. So in other words, it would get integrated with the Medicare. So now that he's out, his thinking has, changed. But he got the for-profits there and there. They got their fingers in Medicare too. So what it really comes down to there, Wall Street got bailed out, and then we got the Affordable Care Act, and so that was kind of like the deal. So again, now what is a chicken hawk? And again, this guy wants to marry the old assistant, so to speak. He's into political science. He's into engineering. He wants to marry her, and he's got some ideas. And he says chicken hawks, politicians, others, they talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. They're a special kind of people who think they're entitled to a free pass. And I'll tell you what, we got something like that. My opinion, take a look at Ginny Thomas. There's a classic example of somebody who thinks he's entitled to a free ride. What kind of freaking is? Then including that bum that sits with SCOTUS. But at any rate, the girl he wants to marry says yes. They think that justice is okay as long as it doesn't happen to them. As long as they have health insurance, they don't care what happens to anybody else. And again, really, we should all be caring about our neighbors, our fellow citizens, etc. So now let's say uh, the young man, he says, yeah, chicken hawks, they're politicians, they talk tough, but when it comes to fighting time, they either got bone spurs, and you know who I mean, they got school deferments, or their wives are pregnant, but they don't want to go into service and actually get shot at. So, yes, they're the ones, they talk tough to disguise their fears. Good people are not bullies. Strong people remain kind and responsible in tough times. Good people do not uh, uh, let their fears override logic and common sense and common decency. And continuing on again, chicken hawks, they're politicians who care about their more about their own campaign contributions and re-election than doing the right thing by the American people. So I'll tell you what, and so we're darn right. When these politicians are out looking for campaign donations, like was permitted by that Citizens United nonsense, again, they're just worried about lining their own pockets and they're getting themselves in power. Now, we also know that according to the founding fathers knew that the function of government was and it remains to be to assure that essential services for the common good are provided for the governed. Take a look at the preamble to our Constitution. Purpose of government, the reason we have a Constitution, is actually for the well-being of the people of the United States. And by the way, most developed nations, again, they recognize that health care is essential to the well-being of the people. Still, I'm griping about these chicken hawks here. Well, again, they like to talk about their right to pursue happiness and high profit. But they seem very happy to ignore the fact that other people have rights too. And the idea is, well, really, if a salesman came along, promised you one thing, and then he didn't deliver, that would be called fraud. And how many of us have thrown money in to an insurance plan every year after year? We see it go up, and then we get some, and then when you put in a claim, they're denying it. They're the real death panels right there. So, well, see, all this paperwork that we got to fill out for the for-profit insurance companies, you know what? It's just a waste of our time. It steals productive time, peace of mind, and the ability to plan for the future. And it really hobbles the American economy. It's a waste of time. Now, and actually, and the older daughter wants to get married here. She's saying that, yep, Clark wants to start his own business. He's a great guy, very industrious, but he doesn't feel like spending all day filling out health paperwork and having to renegotiate a new health plan for employees every year. So again, the kid is saying this is the 14-year-old, and she's talking about it with her friends. And what I'm trying to say here is, yeah, the kids are aware, and yes, and the daughter points out, yeah, we have to fight for our rights to be happy, a loving family, to have a home, to raise your children in a stable environment, and you need affordable, efficient health care, and that's known as universal single payer, and again, it was the Affordable Care Act. They were not able to get a public option in there, and hopefully we will be able to get that public option. And we know one guy is spending all his time crybabying about he's being picked on, this, that, and the other thing, whereas what he really should be talking about, if he cared anything, about the American people that have been getting shortchanged, he'd be talking about getting us a real medical plan for the American people, so you can go in, your paperwork is done just by showing them one card. That's it. And by the way, let's remember that we working Americans, we pay for everything anyway. It doesn't matter which pocket it comes out of, left pocket, right pocket, public wallet, or the private wallet. If you're working, you're going to be paying for it. And you know what? I really think maybe and some of these rich characters, they want to tell us what to do, what to think. They want to send big money to the politicians. They want to donate money and be hidden from it, that they're the ones really pulling the strings on that lunatic House of Representatives and the Senate. Well, I'll tell you what, maybe they should be paying a little bit more too. And if the rich were paying their fair share, and they've been getting a free ride, and I think most working America knows that. So it's time to start caring about the working American. So I'm going to say just thank you for listening. And again, please comment. Thank you.